topic.
Even the timings also not clear, sir. At what time sir will come? We are waiting from 11:30.
Myself?
Yeah, we are told the class will start at 11:30. So that's what only communication gap.
So, but they told me to give. They sent a program that is 12 to 1 o'clock. If it is 11, I'm ready.
No, your timing is different and the student timing is different. That's the biggest problem.
Why this type of confusion? This batch, I don't know. But has given that 10:30 to 11:30 is the first year's class, then 12 to 1 is the second year's class. If it is 11:30 to 12:30, I'm going to take the class.
No. Okay, sir. 12 o'clock is okay, sir. Yeah. Thank you. We will make note of that. Your class will start at 12 only.
Yeah. Thank you. Better to confirm from the authorities. Then from next week, if it is 11:30, I'm going to take class.
No, sir. There's nothing like. No. We will go as per your schedule only, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right. Yeah. No, you're all second years now. Okay.
Yes, sir. All second year.
Yes. So, any doubts in the previous topic? Like yesterday's, we have discussed about that is counseling of children with other issues. Counseling for children with behavioral problems. That already we discussed yesterday. Any doubts with our previous class? You all are attended previous class, no?
Can you posted the video in the your class video? You couldn't attend because of confusion.
Okay. So any
your class is very, very important. You understand the counseling part of it. So I thought I couldn't attend because of confusion of passcode and all this course.
Yeah, those things because whatever the schedule given by the university authorities, that we are following the schedule. 10:30 to 11:30 is the first year's class.
Yes.
12 to 1 o'clock is the second year's class, as far as the schedule is given by the administrative department.
Yeah.
If it is any doubts, better to clarify from the authorities. Still, I'll contact them.
Just request put it in your class video in the thing. Generally, it is put first year it was put all classes, online classes, so that you can refer in case of any doubt in the while reading.
Okay. Anyway,
you can't write notes in the every day. Just listen to you only. You can do.
So yesterday's counseling for children with behavioral problems, just I will within 5 to 10 minutes time, I will complete the revision part of yesterday's class. Main problems of children in this particular counseling part is: one is autistic children, second is the ADHD, third is the issues related to the anxiety like phobic disorders, OCD, then PTSD and other behavioral issues. So here main symptoms, any psychological issue, in examination point of view, you need to write the brief symptoms or how you explain the so on. So for example, autism, what are the main symptoms of autism that we need to explain? Symptoms of autism. So autism is a disorder. It is a problem of children especially. Okay. So we need to explain the various symptoms of autism. So broadly, there are 3 main symptoms of autism. One is problem of communication. Second is socialization. Third is behavioral issues. So these are the broad symptoms of autism. If you want to know the symptoms of autism, overall symptoms or specific symptoms of autism, number 1 is speech delay. Number 2 is not responding to the call. Number 3 is not maintaining good eye contact. Number 4 is not mingling with other children in the group. Number 5 is isolation, or you can say they will be in their own world. They will be in their own world. Okay. So restlessness also one of the important symptom of autism. And second one is ADHD. That name itself, ADHD, attention deficiency and hyperactive disorder. Attention deficiency. These children are not in a position to focus on any activity. Sitting tolerance is very minimal, less sitting tolerance, or you can say restlessness is more. not focusing on any meaningful activity. And hyperactive disorder. Restlessness means attention deficiency, and hyperactive disorder, that is ADHD. This hyperactivity or restlessness is common in the both autism and ADHD. But whereas in autism, is only one of the symptoms of autism. Fifth symptom or fourth symptom of autism is restlessness. But in ADHD, it is only the issue in ADHD. Attention deficiency means restlessness and hyperactive disorder. Okay. In this both, we have tools. For example, autism. One tool is ESA, Indian Scale of Assessment of Autism, and another tool is CARS, CARS, Child Autism Rating Scale. If the age is below 30 months of time, that is MCHART. That is the online tool. So the tools available for the autism test. So symptoms. And
Can you sir repeat again the autistic tools?
One is ESA, ISD.
EST.
No, I. Indian Scale of Assessment of Autism. ISAA.
Okay.
Indian Scale of Assessment of Autism. Indian Scale for Assessment of Autism. Indian Scale for Assessment of Autism. ESA, ISAA. That is one tool of autism. Second is CARS, CARS, Child Autism Rating Scale, CARS. Another tool is MCHART, MCHART, MCHAT, that is meant for 30 months below children. The three important tools of autism. Okay, so autism symptoms and ADHD symptoms. Only one common symptom is there between the both, that is autism and ADHD, restlessness. But here in autism, restlessness is one of the symptoms of autism. As I mentioned, speech delay, restlessness, not making eye contact, not responding to call, and socialization. These are the various issues in the autism. Whereas in the ADHD, main symptom is attention deficiency and hyperactivity. Now the third one is one is phobic disorder, phobia. That is known as anxiety disorders in the children. Anxiety disorders. For example, if anxiety is on specific object like water, height, a group of people, specifically is for situation for objects, if they feel anxiety or anxious, specific reasons, specific causes, that is known as the phobic condition, phobia, you can say. This is one type of anxiety disorder in the children. Second is GAD, general anxiety disorder, without any specific reason, without any particular cause. That is, that if the children have anxiety, if the children feels anxious without any specific reason or particular reason, that is called generalized anxiety, GAD, generalized anxiety disorder.
Generalized anxiety disorders.
Yes, generalized anxiety disorders. Another one related to this anxiety is PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Post-traumatic stress disorder. This is also related to anxiety disorders among the children. And panic disorders, excessive fear of situations or any object, that is panic disorders. Okay, these are the common psychological issues in the children. Apart from this, in addition to these issues, some children are deviant behavior. They show deviant behavior, antisocial behavior, like stealing, hitting others. These are the behavioral issues, tantrums. Okay, and some issues related to their delay of speech delay, not speak in a proper way, maybe stuttering, stammering, and cluttering. This type of speech delay or speech related issues also you can find in the children. So as I mentioned, any psychological issue, maybe the childhood issues or maybe some other issues related to the psychology. So we need to find out the root cause of these issues, any problem of psychological related. Better to find out the reasons, or you can say factors, causes. So here causes means one is in broad way if you discuss, one is genetical reasons. Second is the environmental reasons. Genetical reasons relate to the chromosomal abnormality, maybe some reasons related to their genes. Okay. And the second broad category of factors is environmental. That environment may be family environment. That environment may be organizational environment, or you can say school environment. That may be environment related to the neighborhood or society. Okay. So another factors related to the reasons related to the childhood issues means natal, prenatal, and postnatal. Natal means the time of delivery. What are the issues related to the delivery time? Natal reasons maybe type of delivery, whether it is immediate birth cry or delayed birth cry, whether it is normal birth weight or a low birth weight. So these are all issues related to the delivery reasons, or you can say natal reasons. Prenatal means before delivery, after conceiving, at the time of pregnancy, during pregnancy time. Some issues related to the mother, like mother's health condition, maybe physical or psychological health conditions, and this age of mother's conception, mother's age of conceiving, whether it's below 18 years or above 35 years of age. And the reasons related to their psychological conditions, like stress, any stress related issues, any habits, any health issues, major health issues. These are all related to the prenatal reasons. Whether antenatal checkups are properly done or not. So these are all related to the prenatal. Then postnatal means after birth, within 2 weeks to 2 months time of child, whether feeding is normal feeding or bottle feeding. Any issues related to the seizures, jaundice, incubation. These are all related to the postnatal reasons. Okay, so we have to find out the reasons first before addressing any issue of psychological related. Better to go for the thorough verification of all these factors, so that it is easy to give the proper solution to the psychological issues. Another thing is counseling for the parents, or you can say caregivers. We need to understand the stress levels of the parents, because their child is not normal. So if they know, they sensitize any issues related to their children. So we, as a psychological professionals, we need to understand the stress levels or the anxiety of the parents. Parental counseling is most important thing in this particular children. Okay, counseling strategies for the child and the parents also. So there are some strategies we have. So understand their problems thoroughly, counsel them. For example, of completion of this, for example, if the parent is having doubt about the child, so their routine was not normal. If they find and if they doubt any abnormality in the child's behavior, they'll come to the psychologist. They'll come to the professionals. So what the psychologists do? So they'll observe. They'll listen. They'll understand the various questions of his parents as well as the child. The child's behavior, the child's movements, the child's various issues. The psychologist observe. So after analyzing of parents' these versions and the observation of the child, if any doubt, so better to go for the thorough assessment. Thorough assessment means using some appropriate tools, like if any doubt about their developmental, if the normal development is not there, if they observe that some abnormality in their behavior, so better to go for the psychological test to understand, to assess their IQ levels or DQ levels or SQ levels. So maybe if any abnormality in their development, if the developmental milestones are not achieved up to the mark, so that is developmental delay. So better to communicate this test result to the parents in a proper and systematic way. Furtherly, if there is any other test like ADHD test or autism test or any other test is needed, that also with the help of the parent, with the help of the child, with the help of the caregivers, better to administer the test. Better to conduct the test of other tools by using further tools. Then after that, management, how to manage these issues, how to plan of management plan. So with these follow-ups, how many follow-ups, how many sessions are needed, how to arrange the sessions, it is monthly once or monthly twice or weekly once, twice. Depends on the parental availability, parental interest, parental feasibility, and the availability of the child, whether it is a school-going child. So these are all the things we need to take in consideration, and better to arrange these schedule of giving counseling. Then some strategies in counseling. So rapport establishment. These are all the quite common. We already discussed the strategies of counseling: first stage, second stage, third stage, final stage. Okay. So behavioral therapy, CBT is needed. Behavioral therapy is needed. Depends on the case. Depends on the whether it is phobic. If it is, for example, if it is a phobia case, better to go for the systematic desensitization technique. If it is any OCD case, better to go for the ERP, exposed response prevention technique. Apart from this, proper counseling to the parents, caregivers also, and psycho-education is also one of the important technique to this childhood-related issues. So various counseling techniques we have to use in this particular cases of child-related psychological issues or behavioral issues. Even the BMP also can apply. BMP, behavior modification program, depends on that. The behavior modification program is based on the classical conditioning theory and operant conditioning theories of learning. So these are the techniques: behavior modification program, behavior modification technique, systematic desensitization, ERP, psychoeducation. These are the various techniques we use in this child.
Sorry, sir. ERP for which one?
For OCD, exposed response prevention for OCD.
Okay.
So as I mentioned, some anxiety disorders. Anxiety disorders means one is phobia, second is generalized anxiety disorder, third is the panic disorder, fourth is the PTSD, fifth one is the OCD. OCD means obsessive compulsive disorders. OCD, repeated hand washing, repeated checking of locks. This is OCD. OCD means obsessive compulsive disorders. These compulsory activities means checking the locks, repeated hand washing, counting the numbers, only some 3, 4. When they are reaching the steps, they will 2-3 steps they will forward, then they'll come back again the same steps, counting some numbers. These are the various issues related to the OCD. So we have to find out problem is in the OCD. Also some subclassifications of OCD, whether it's related to the numbers, whether it's related to movement, whether it's related to any cognition, whether it's related to any repeated activities. So it depends on the compulsory activities. What are the obsessive thoughts? So obsessive thought leads to compulsory activities. Repeated hand washing means repeated hand washing is the compulsory activities, compulsions. The root cause of this compulsion, some obsessive thought, means they feel there is dust on their hands or legs or any other part of. These obsessive thoughts, if you address these obsessive thoughts, if it is reduced, then only it is possible to reduce the compulsory activities. Here some techniques like hierarchy of technique or double standard technique, ERP technique. There are various techniques to address the issue of OCD. Okay, it's all about childhood issues. Now we'll move to the next that is unit: educational, vocational, and career counseling. Educational counseling, vocational counseling, and career counseling. So counseling, as we know, counseling is a it's a counseling is not at all a only giving guidance. It's empowerment of the child, empowerment of the individual, empowerment of the person. In order to address the issue, ask the client to help themselves. Counseling is help the client to help themselves. So once the child, once the individual, when the person and the client came to the psychological professional, in order to resolve that issue, the psychologist he should be in a position to empower the person, empower the individual, empower the child, so that in any issue in their future course of time, he will be in a position to solve on their own. That is the actual psychological counseling. Help them to help themselves. Help the client to help own. Then there is a difference between the counseling and guidance. Counseling is different, guidance is different. Guidance is the broad aspect, whereas counseling is a specific. Guidance is once the person came to the psychologist, he will guide only on the particular issue. So after completion, after getting the solution, the client will go away. Then again, if there's any issue, again they'll come to the client. They'll come to the psychologist. That is the guide. Only he'll act as a guide. Whenever the problem, whenever the issue raised, he will guide. The psychologist will guide the client. That's only guidance. But whereas counseling, as I mentioned, when the person came to that particular psychologist in order to address that issue of the problem, so he will empower the person so that in any issue, the future course of time, he will be in a position to sort it out, to address the issue on their own. No need of coming to the counseling again. So counseling is a specific aspect, then it is a empowerment of the person, whereas the guidance is the broad aspect. It's only guiding that person on the particular issue only. And the counseling is a part of guidance, but guidance is not a part of counseling. And counseling is a long-term process, whereas the guidance is a limited part, limited time bounded part. This is the difference between the counseling and guidance. Then what is educational counseling? Educational counseling generally, in order to give educational counseling, so we need to find out the strengths and weakness of the child, or the student, or the person. In educational counseling, the first part of educational counseling, identifying their strengths and weaknesses of the student or the child or the person. Here, ask them to identify the strengths on their own, not from your side. Here, introspection is the one technique we use in order to identify the client's strengths on their own. Ask them to identify the strengths. Nowadays, there are so many students are like that. They don't know what are their strengths, their competencies, their skills. They don't have the proper idea about their own strengths. They are not aware of their own skills. Once they identify that skills and their competence, it's easy to utilize those competence and skills. But the problem is that here the role of the psychologist, it is vital role, it's the main important role to identify their, make them to identify their roles, make them to identify their skills, make them to identify their strengths and weaknesses, so that they will utilize their strengths properly, they will improve their strengths or competencies and skills. And if they identify their weakness also, it is easy to reduce their weakness. It is easy to work out on their weaknesses. That is the main role of psychologist for the counseling, in education counseling especially. In order to improve their skills, maybe some personal problems. If these personal problems are hurdles of their identification of their skills and replacing their skills, so that in that area also counseling is needed. The counselor role is important. Any personal problems, if the psychologist, with the help of the client, identify that personal problems, so better to resolve those personal problems with the help of the family members or the caregivers. That is one part. Second is that though they know that their competencies, though they know their weaknesses, but it is not so easy to identify and improve their competencies. Here also, better to give proper counseling to the educational counseling process. For example, in the school going children, they'll have some fear or anxiety about examinations. You can say fear of examinations, phobic fears of examinations. And some children, some students, they have some myths, you can say, preoccupied mentality related to some subjects, especially mathematics. So that is the role of the psychologist, whether it is the subject related issue or one topic on the subject. For example, some students, they'll have some doubt, they'll have some fear, they'll have some problem in the mathematical concepts. Only one or two concepts in the mathematics, one or two topics in the mathematics, they'll have doubt, they'll have some fear, or I can say mentality. The whole mathematics is not that much hard, but they think that whole mathematics subject is a hard subject. So that is the role of the psychologist to identify the subject related issue or any topic in that subject, like algebra. Only some few topics in the mathematics, like algebra, some other mathematical concepts, they'll have some doubt, some fear of that particular topic in the subject, not the whole subject. These things minutely, we think in micro level, the psychologist has to be secure. And some students, due to their classroom environment, their classroom environment is not suitable to learn so many things from the class. That also, whether that environment related to the home, that environment related to the classroom, that environment related to siblings or this peer group, some peer pressures, some peer pressures also, they may not be in a position to perform better. Studies performance will be less. You can say it is not up to the mark. So these are all the various issues as a psychologist to be identified. And some issues of education counseling relate to the curriculum. The curricular activity is not suitable to their age. As we know, in our learning theories of your first year, there are some learning theories like Thorndike's theory of learning, like trial and error theory of learning. In trial and error theory of Thorndike, Edward E. Thorndike, the main theory is the trial and error theory, but some sub principles are given by the E.L. Thorndike in his trial and error theory. That is law of readiness, law of readiness, law of frequency, law of effect. The three sub principles Thorndike in his trial and error theory. Law of readiness. So a student is there in the classroom, student is present in the classroom, but his mind is, whether his body is present, physically he is present, whether his mind is present, whether his readiness, psychological readiness, emotional readiness, and physical readiness. These are all the various issues we have to check. Though he is present in the classroom, but his mind, his emotions, whether he is ready physically, psychologically, emotionally, those things we need to check and observe. The curriculum, whether it is suitable to his abilities, whether the curriculum is suitable to his readiness, like physical readiness, psychological readiness. That is the reason cognitive developmental theory. His cognition thought process is related to suitable to that particular curriculum or not. So curricular related issues, whether extracurricular activities, co-curricular activities, curricular activities, these are all the various activities in the school, in the classroom, or the subject related issues are suitable to the child or not. Then how the environment of the school, classroom, how the methodology. So these methods of teaching, we know there are so many methods of teaching. These teaching methods are suited to the child competencies, capacities, and skills, and his readiness, physical and psychological readiness. And these curricular activities, co-curricular and extracurricular activities give proper overall development to the child or not. Or you can say personal development of the student. So it's stepwise personal development, stage-wise personal development is possible in that particular class or not. The holistic manner of development. So these things we need to check. If it is needed, better to go for the teachers counseling or parental counseling also. Whether these parents are attended properly with the PTA, parent teacher association meetings or not. For example, of completion of one examination or one test, they are supposed to attend PTA meeting, parent teacher association meeting, so that these issues, maybe the issues related to the particular child or student, they'll easily understand from the, they'll easily have proper communication from the administrators of the school or teachers of the school. Counseling is most important. Education counseling is most important if there is behavioral issues. As I mentioned, some behavioral issues may be there. With the coordination of the school authorities, with the coordination of the teachers, it is easy to understand their behavior in the school environment. The parents know only the children's behavior in the family environment. They don't know what is going on in the school environment. So with the help of with the coordinating with the teachers and administrators, we can easily understand their behavior. If there is any odd behavior in the school, that also we can understand. Same way with this PTA association meeting, parent teacher association meeting, the teachers also can have the proper understanding how they behave in the family environment. So some children are very calm and quiet in the school environment, but whereas their behavior is somehow different with the parental environment. These are all the things we need to understand. Accordingly, better to give the counseling to the parents as well as the children. These are all related to the educational counseling. Then vocational counseling. After completion of their studies, maybe 12th class or after completion of their graduation, they want to go for the vocation. Which line, which branch, which course to be selected, whether it is mathematics related courses or science related courses or arts related courses. So this is nothing but one type of vocational or can say career counseling. Based on their skills and their interest and their aptitudes, be better to suggest the counseling, suggest the subjects. So with the help of the parent, with the help of the child, we need to provide vocational counseling, or you can say vocational type of counseling. So in this also there are some tests, some tools you can use. One is DBDA, David's Battery of Differential Abilities. They depends on their abilities. Better to suggest a course after completion of their 12th class or any other professional course. So this is one tool of testing their abilities. DBDA, David's Battery of Differential Abilities. So whether it is mechanical ability, whether it is clerical ability, whether it is mathematical ability, whether it is administrative abilities. So these are all the abilities we better to check before suggesting before giving the vocational course. And some cases, career counseling also needed. Career counseling. After entry, before entering into job, counseling. After entering into job, also counseling is needed. So in some cases, though they are in a very good position in the organization, but they may not be in a position to functioning properly according to the expectation of the organization. Some cases they need to work as a team member in the team. In some cases, they need to work as a team leader in the team. Leadership qualities also needed in that particular jobs, but these professions. They have that particular either leadership qualities or not. These things we need to check. Here also, some cases they may be having some good job, but they don't perform better. In some cases, they already admitted or joined in a professional course or professional this thing, maybe engineering or medical or any other IIT or like it, but their performance is reduced compared to the previous academic courses. Academic courses are different, professional courses. Their academic performance is good, but whereas after entering into the professional course, their performance is somehow not up to the mark. In that case, what are the reasons behind it? That we need to understand in the career counseling or vocational counseling.
So any tools for it?
Yeah,
Counseling.
yes, for this also we have tools. As I mentioned, for vocational, DBDA is the one tool. David's Battery of Differential Ability, DBDA. For interest, if you want to find out their interest, want to test their interest, whether they are interested. Some cases, what happens? They, by force of the parents, they will admit in some course like engineering or other courses, but their interest is somehow different. They wanted to do some other courses, but due to their parental pressures, I can say, so they will join in other different courses. In that case, better to go for the CIS, Comprehensive Interest Schedule. That is one tool. CIS. I think that is there in your second year. This thing, it is in your syllabus. You will have some practical class, not completion of this thing. CIS is one tool of knowing the test of interest. EIS also there, emotional intellectual scale. The problem is with the related to the emotions, that is also one type. EIS, emotional intelligence scales. Another scale is a JSS, job satisfaction scale. Tools are available. So whether they are satisfied with the job or not, whether they are satisfied with their role in the organization. That is job satisfaction scale, JSS. Any problem of emotions in the job with the problem of other members in the team, there is sociability, maybe one important issue, maybe some depressive issue, some anxiety related to the role. In that case, also we have tools like depression, Hamilton scale of depression, Hamilton scale of anxiety, HAM-A, HAM-B. CAS is for interest, EIS is for emotion, job satisfaction, DVD is for abilities. The various tools and techniques are available for this vocational guidance as well as this career counseling. Another important topic in this career counseling also, there are some these techniques of improving their skills. First of all, we better to administer the tests. So which area you are interested, like CAS if you administer, abilities if you administer. So better to provide the counseling based on the tools and the result or the feedback of the tools. You can say scoring of the tools, after interpretation of the tools, after interpretation of the scores in the tool. So better to advise based on their final result of the tool. So in one scientist, that is the name of the scientist is Soper's theory, giving that some type of careers pattern, how the maturity of the career to be improved, implementation of the self-concept of developing in a career entry. So say some issues will be like that, though they have proper abilities and competencies, due to their lack of confidence, lack of self-esteem, they may not be in a position to perform better in the organization. Some people, these professionals, though they have very good intellectual aspects, but their emotions are due to their emotional disturbances, they may not be in a position to perform better in their organization. IQ is good, but EQ also should be in a better case. IQ is intellectual quotient, whereas EQ is the emotional quotient. If they are in a position to regulate their emotions, balancing their emotions, if their emotions stable, that is known as the EQ. If the EQ is good, they'll easily control their emotions so that their performance will be better in their organization. So choice of emotion, choice of occupation, choice of role, choice of vocation, also how to opt various options in their organization, various options in their profession. So here, as I mentioned, interest inventories or interest scales, then vocational these guidances. If there is any personality issues, those things are being identified. Whether they have satisfaction in their vocation, in their job. If they are not satisfied, if you find any dissatisfaction, better to go for the job satisfaction scale. Which area they are not in a position. Some professionals or some individuals, their problem is this communication. They won't be in a position to communicate properly with other members in the team. And these individuals, they won't mingle with other group members in the group. If it is other cases, better to improve their social skills and communication skills. So just ask them to improve their social skills as well as the communication skills. Here also counseling is needed. In career counseling, as I mentioned, first of all, the core concepts we need to understand. Core concepts means whether it is emotional issues, whether it is interest issues, whether it is issue of ability or personality. With the help of the tools, after that, giving proper guidance, proper counseling to improve their weaknesses, to address their weaknesses. Some if the problem is with the personality means again there are some tests. We have personality IPD is the one personality test, international personality without examination, whether it is cluster A personality, cluster B, and cluster C. Personality is not that easy to change it. So if this modification of the personality, changing of the personality is not possible, better to alter the environment. So if there's any personality issues, it's not so easy to change their personality traits. That is the reason better to alter the environment, maybe the occupational environment or the family environment. These things can be. If there's any problem of adjustmental issues, that adjustmental issues can be solved. So whether it's personal adjustment means the person himself or herself is not in a position to adjust with their own his personality. So here also counseling is needed. Personal adjustment, then family adjustment. There is a conflict within the family, so that also better to address by the counseling process. Family adjustment or the occupational adjustment. If the individual is not in a position to adjust with the members in the occupation, team members in the occupation, employees in the occupation, employees in the occupational environment. So those adjustmental issues, if we find, so better to address those issues. Social adjustment. So these are all the various adjustmental issues. And in this case also, we'll have some other technique like ABC model, as I mentioned, activities, activity, event, behavior system, and the consequences. If after joining in any profession, initially they'll face this adjustment issues. If it is some limited period, it's okay. It may not be a major issue. If it is continuously constant, the same problem is faced in the years together in the same organization, that is the adjustmental issues. Okay, so in this guidance of this educational guidance, counseling, or you can say vocational counseling, even career counseling also, what are the techniques we have as a counselor or a psychologist? Those techniques, as I mentioned, as already we discussed, empathetical understanding, genuinity, or unconditional positive regard. These are all the various techniques in the counseling, various skills in counseling, counselor skills, competence of the counselor. With all these competencies, skills, we are in a position, will be in a position to address those issues. Again, there is a difference between the occupational counseling and vocational guidance. As I mentioned, counseling is if they came to you, if the professionals came to the psychologist, only with that only one problem of maybe any, for example, any social issues or socialization issues, only with that socialization issue only we will address. We won't be in a position to, we won't address any empowerment or any insight or anything like personality issues. Just only with that one issue, the employee, if the professional came to the psychologist or the counselor, they will just give some guidance. They will go. This individual will go, the client will go, and again, if they face any other issue, again they'll come. That is only the guidance of vocation or vocational guidance, you can say. But whereas counseling, they came to the counselor with the help with that one issue in order to sort out that issue. in order to address that issue, all other areas also in deeper manner, we need to understand in vocational counseling. Once the counseling process is completed in this vocational counseling, they will be empowered, their insight will be improved, and their behavior will be modified. Other areas of weaknesses, those things also we will identify, and those issues also will address in a counseling process. Then with full-fledged empowerment, the client, the person, the individual will empowered with the vocational counseling. That is the major difference between the guidance and the counseling. Any sort of like educational guidance and educational counseling, vocational guidance and vocational counseling. So only guiding the person is different. In order to address that issue in deeper manner, empowering the person, identifying these capabilities and weaknesses, strengths and weaknesses, and improving their insight. That is all about counseling. Okay. Anything else? Anything you want to add or any doubts? Hello.
No doubt, sir. Thank you.
No doubt, sir. Clear,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. What about your assignments? You submitted your assignments?
Not yet, sir. Not yet, sir.
Any doubts related to assignments or the topic, how to present the topic? We just have another 2 minutes time. You want to ask any question related to assignments? Previously, somebody asked about assignments of how to present, but because already you are the second year, so you know how to process it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Can I ask a small query, sir?
Yeah. Yes.
You have given some laws regarding, while learning theories. One is law of readiness, law of frequency, and third one is basically
Effect.
some
Law of
law of
effect.
trial and error theory by Edward something.
Edward Thorndike. Edward E.
Oh, Thorndike. Okay. Thorndike is very famous.
Yes.
No, other three laws. One is law of readiness. Second is law of frequency, and third one.
Law of effect, or you can say law of result.
Okay. We studied that. Okay, fine. We
Yeah.
studied that also. Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Anything else?
Now, certain examples of these people, like you said, ki environment can be changed. No, it is not so easy to change the environment. It is very small. Small team, it can be done. The larger environment cannot be changed always.
Yes.
It cannot be changed. I'll quote some examples.
Mm-hmm.
So what had happened that, there are, military academies in high scale in India,
Yeah.
in other countries also, in Sandhurst, in Australia and London. So in the first around, say, 20 days of training, a lot of people, they can run away from the academies.
Okay.
Because they cannot take rigors of the training.
Mm.
They think they will do, but they cannot do.
Yes.
So first 15 days, I remember we used to put the patrolling party, we used to put the fencings, to put our guards in the bus stop, airport, railway station to catch hold of these people. Because already these people, they thought emotional they'll do, physical they cannot do. So this emotional thing and physical thing, what you said is correct, but you cannot change the environment. There is something called DIPR in the country. The psychology theories is different, practical psychology is different. So they think that if they're running away, you can't do much about it. Some people will get hold of and to put them in the training schedule, but they cannot cope up.
Yeah.
So the parents are being called to pay some, 10 lakh, 15 lakh something cost of training. Then they take the children. A lot of things happened because I was one of the group head in that training institutions. So I felt that these people are not able to cope up the requirements of the organization. You can't change the organization suddenly. It is a very huge organization.
Yeah.
It's not only in India, it is all over the world.
Yes, yes. I mean, at least see in organizational setup, it's not possible. At least family environment can be changed.
Yeah, it's a small family, children, it's permitted. I mean, not in organization like job requirement, expectations,
Yeah,
attitudes, or another thinking. Something is different on ground is another different issue.
exactly.
So that thing I thought I'll talk to you. And the tools, all that thing only you learn in the practicals of end of second year,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes, yes, yes. CAS is available. EAS is the abstract special scale of secondary practicals.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Welcome.